Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Trigger. I'm your host, Zachary Clark, and you all know my co-host, Adam Furman. Adam, how are you doing this fine evening in March?
My bones are cold, Zach. Feel cooped up.
Cold as ice. Willing to get 4 inches of snow in spring. Is it officially spring yet?
Who switched this to head games? um, it is not spring. It's spring when I say it's spring, and that'll be in a couple weeks. Did you say there was a groundhog that prevented it from?
I don't know the details. The groundhog died. Spring will never come.
Spring. It's like, oh, winter and never Christmas.
Narnia?
The White Witch?
Yeah. I remember that. Santa came when the ice started to melt, though.
Yes. And then he delivered an armament to the children.
Yeah. He gave them their gifts. Old Father Christmas.
As good. In one world, Earth, he's punching heretics, and in another world, Narnia, he's bestowing weapons.
I read that he's just slapped that guy. So it wasn't a punch.
It was an open hand. It was probably a little bit worse.
I don't know.
For the other guy.
Oh, man. Oh, I forgot to tell everybody that we're coming to you live from the rainbow-hued land of fun and games.
Oh, no. Why?
Where everyone is gay.
Oh, no. Everyone?
Listen, Adam, I will not be shamed away from saying gay. Gay, 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 gay. Gay!
I think you're taking whatever it is a little too far.
No matter what laws you passed, I won't be silenced. I'll say gay until the cows come home. Gay, 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 gay.
Gay cows?
Okay.
Oh.
But apparently, I didn't know, but the fascist governor of the state of Florida and his Republican GOP lackeys have passed a sinister bill that is going to shut people's mouths and prevent them from saying gay. Not me, friend.
That doesn't sound right.
I will never be silenced.
Oh, I know that's true.
I'll be calling everything gay. Don't you worry.
It's like, oh wait, that's not what I meant.
What?
It's like, no, we can say it. It's like, okay.
You said we need to say it. We need to say it to confront the oppression. So now I've just got everything. This is gay. That's gay.
We're all.
Everybody's gay.
Okay, by 2047.
We'll get into that.
Oh, no.
But first, we have some breaking news from the Scanner Radio. Oh, this chonky girl. She is lost and missing. Found in a garage. Take a good close look, guys. Good close look. Hold on. I don't want you to miss out on this. We're gonna get in there. Oh no.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing? The picture isn't getting bigger, but the F is.
Face mask. Meta! It's taking over! Too much. Anyway. This cat! Lost! Found! In a garage. Found this cat in my garage this morning. She's pregnant. Very friendly. Has a collar with a bell on it and a flea collar. Needs to find her owners ASAP. I'm looking on North 26. Please help me find her owner. So if you recognize this cat, this very chonky, pregnant tabby cat, floofy hair, let me know. I'll get in touch with people. I know we have a large local audience.
I was gonna say, I think our audience is localized to Texas and Chicago suburbs.
Someone from Colorado. I recognize that cat. It's mine. Well, I don't think that's right. It is. It's my cat. It's getting quit. I can see it's mine. That's Princess. She got out of the screen door. She's always trying to run outside. That's how she got knocked up. That's how happened to my cat. She would escape and run out into the night, and then she'd come back. And she was with child.
With children?
Yeah.
Just one?
There were 5. Chuck Norris, firstborn. First of his name. Bruce Wade and Clark Kent. They were black kittens, solid black. And then there were the 2 moos, and they were sort of, what's that called? I can't remember what that pattern's called. But it's like those milking cows, those dairy cows.
Yeah, cow pattern.
Whatever it is. It has a name. I don't know what it is.
Cow pattern.
Norris still lives with me.
Cow pattern.
He's like 17.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah, that's the one. 17 years young cat.
That's like 8 years older than what cats live.
I don't know. I guess he's just got a longevity in him.
What are you feeding it?
The same thing I feed all my cats, adrenochrome. Hey, you gotta keep them young. It helps with the joints, I hear. That's what's been helping me anyway.
Oh.
Ah, yeah. You just drink it. That's how it works. It's like that episode of South Park where Christopher Reeves
Starts cracking.
is used in stem cell treatments.
Yeah, I remember that one. Like the second episode I ever saw.
My brother asked, what about the cat Jessica stole? Oh, yes, Frank Sinatra. I had this other cat, Old Blue Eyes. He was an amazing cat. Fierce, ferocious. He would lurk underneath your car and then leap out and attack you. It was wonderful. My brother's friends came and they decided that they wanted to steal my cat, and I don't really even know how or why this happened. But they took it to their farm, and then it was promptly murdered by coyotes, and I've never forgiven them for this. Thank you, Jason, for bringing up and opening this wound, tearing it wide open. Oh, Frank. Oh, Frank. Oh. But I digress. Eugene also commented in chat that March 21st is the first day of spring. And you know what? That shocks me. That surprises me because it turns out fight season has already kicked off. 8th and Jackson area. Subjects swinging bats and skateboards at each other. QPD on scene. First bad fight of the season.
This happened earlier this year.
I know it. Coming at you on the 11th of March. The cops didn't find anybody.
Sometimes I wonder if it's fake. People call in fake stuff. Wasn't there one where there was like 20-person hammer fight? It's like, no.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It happens. It's going to happen again. We had a lull last year, I feel, in the fight season.
Yeah.
It was
Didn't get hot
mild and
enough.
stormy. Didn't really ever
Yeah.
get kicked off. But this year, I guess there was all the pent-up fight aggression that they didn't get out last season. It's begun. It's begun. We will be keeping you guys up to date and keeping tabs on all the fight season news as it comes across the scanner. But I pray that fights do not occur. But they always do. So it's all part of the plan or something. I don't know.
What plan?
The Lord's plan. He wants us to, of our own free will, follow his commands, Adam. But he knows we won't. And he doesn't
fight.
smite us.
To not engage in hammer fights.
Adam!
What?
Breaking news! Breaking news, Adam! Breaking news! Straight off the wire. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida just condemned Russia for its occupation of the southern part of the Kuril Islands. In this statement in Parliament, he said that the islands are original territories of Japan.
Ooh, here we go. Starting up.
Shoe is on the other foot. Putin's like, these are Russian territories over here in Ukraine. And so Japan's just like, yeah, two can play that game, buddy. These are Japanese lands over here. And you were pretty focused over there on the other side of your very large country. So what would you do if our self-defense forces self-defended our historic territories?
Yeah.
It was an interesting turn of events that I saw coming, and one step closer to global nuclear war. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but Japan is starting to get feisty over there.
Yes. They've done so in the past. I say, we just let them go.
Russo-Japanese War too.
Oh, yes. Well,
This
I don't know
time
how many
with
they've
nukes.
had. They've had a few.
Yeah. The time of relative global peace, I think, has come to an end, my friend. East to west, Asia, Europe, all of the countries that decided war was bad juju have just decided in the last, 3 weeks that, you know what, it wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, I guess it's time. Oh, well, that's okay.
Enough with these proxy wars. Let's go.
yeah. They're like, we ain't fighting none of these proxy wars anymore. You and me, mano y mano. The U.S. says Russia has put its eastern naval forces on defensive posture, and probably in response to these Japanese statements. Oh, man. This is what I was talking about, 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, when the whole shindig started putting pressure on the other side of the country. That country is too large to defend it all. If you want,
When Putin put all of his air force, reportedly put all of his air force over on the western side, over on the European side.
Yeah. What are you gonna do now, buddy?
We are fully mobilized, ready to defend ourselves over here on the against the west, and it's like, all right, cool. And I moved 3 of my armies over to Kamchatka.
Yeah. Well, it's just I guess I think all that stuff came together, and these territorial disputes have been in place for a very long time. I think since the end of World War II, where Russia has nominally occupied these Japanese islands, and I guess they're like, hey, A, you've weakened your forces over here. B, you just as part of your justification for invading another country said that it was because it's Russian anyway.
Yeah.
So, why not?
And then you've exhausted your forces
Yeah.
already through actual hot combat.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Sure, Putin, send your guys over. let's roll around in the mud a little. Anyway, it's both interesting and a little scary because I just feel like it's so close. It hasn't felt like this. It hasn't been this way in quite some time now, Adam. Probably since like the Cuban Missile Crisis has global war not been so close as it is right now.
Yeah, usually when I remember throughout the last couple decades, people when like Israel gets involved in, any type of military invasion or exercises or whatnot, people are like, oh, this will be the domino effect and blah blah blah. It'll be World War III. Like you never ever saw that. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it turns out all it took was for Russia to start getting squirrely in Eastern Europe again. And now everybody's let's fight a global war. Yeah.
No, only if he attacks a NATO nation.
No, they're talking about doing. They're talking about doing the NATO, even though it's not a NATO country.
Oh well, I mean that's happened. Isn't that Afghanistan? Wasn't Article 5 invoked? I think it was.
For our invasion of Afghanistan? Is that what you're talking about?
Have Hank pull it up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That the September 11th attacks. It was one of the justifications for having NATO nations in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Article 5 was invoked. Well, attack on one member is an attack on all.
If you didn't know, that was all fake.
It was a very real thing that happened.
What? Which part?
Seeing the last copter out of Saigon.
I thought you were talking about global war. Because fighting Afghanistan Taliban's is not global war.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, I don't know. The NATO nations sending forces to the Taliban, to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You're talking like everyone against Russia and Chechnya.
Oh, and no, Kazakhstan. It's global war. The different alliances will sort of flush out. You can sort of see how they're going, which is sort of alarming. But it's a strange alliance of India, Russia, China, probably Iran. These guys.
India wouldn't. No.
India is refusing to impose sanctions and is in fact providing economic support to Russia. Workarounds for the Western sanctions that are being placed on it for its actions in Ukraine.
Yes, they're taking advantage of the situation, and they're going to come out on top because then, when everything's said and done, Russia will be partnered with India instead of the West for a lot of their infrastructure or technology and such.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like a, hey, we're going to help support arms with, we're going to, India is now going to invade France or whatever.
Slippery slope. Because
Oh, that's just a fallacy, Zach.
once the lines are
Slippery
drawn in the
slope.
global war, you will have the Axis and you will have the Allies. You will have the Central Powers and you will have the Allied nations.
You will have NATO and the CETO, and then you will have the Russia.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can see how this goes. It's like the Philippines, Australia, Japan, United States, France, Germany, Great Britain,
Way
Canada.
too early for this. Way too early for this.
That's what I'm saying. It's on the very brink of this. Ukraine is calling for NATO to enforce a no-fly zone over Ukraine that would require them to destroy Russian anti-aircraft batteries and planes. That would be open combat between Russia and NATO. There have been serious people, leaders in Western countries, that have been calling for this. And it's being demanded by Ukraine. As soon as that happens, bingo
No, no, no. I've
bango.
seen
It's
those.
like it's not
No, no,
just
no.
about Ukraine anymore.
I saw that the. Yeah, there's a lot of people don't understand when they want a no-fly zone. It means shooting down planes that fly over it.
Yeah. You shoot down planes
People
and
don't understand that though.
yeah, it requires the whoever's imposing the no-fly zone to have aerial superiority, and so you have control over who is allowed to fly in it. It's not nobody's flying because your jets, you got F-16s and Falcons or whatever. What's the new one? The one that costs like
F-16s are the Falcons.
$9 billion for each one.
F-22s, F-35s.
Yeah, F-22 or whatever it was. The Joint Strike Fighter is the one I always remember hearing
Oh,
about.
that's probably the 35.
Yeah. So your planes are there because you're keeping any bad guys from being able to fly in it.
Yeah.
It also means you have to control anti-aircraft batteries and controls on the ground. So SAM missile batteries and stuff like this.
Yeah, because if you, like, that means that no one can fly, right? If you're imposing that,
Yeah.
you have air superiority. They don't have SAM missile batteries. They don't have, and then you probably should.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You do. You have all of the control. That's what this means. I don't know because I think that some people are just like that. Just means that you say they're not allowed to, and if they do, then they break the rules. And then if they break the rules, it means that they get extra bad sanctions against them.
I hope that you, I hope that's not true. I hope that you just made that up, that people think that. Like that, it's like in Team America, World Police, right? When North Korea breaks something, I forgot what treaty they break or they did something wrong, and then it's like dramatic music, and they're like, "Oh, you know what I'm gonna do?" It's like, "Oh, what?" I'm gonna write a very, very angry letter.
That's what they've been doing so far. Ooh, you. No, no, no.
It's so perfect too, Zach, because they're trying to make these weird UN motions and stuff. Oh, we want to condemn, and Russia is on the. He's like, no, veto.
Yeah, they get veto power in the Security
It's gonna have
Council.
a breakdown of the League of Nations again. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, so good. Global war. Breakdown of
At
international
least,
diplomacy.
hey, we've got Japan on our side this time, and Germany.
For
this is
now.
good.
These things, they get all wibbly wobbly. But we're already supplying arms and funds and stuff to them, so we are funding the war against Russia right now, openly. Openly
Yeah,
funding it.
just get.
We're already basically conducting acts of war against Russia, and they just haven't decided to pull that trigger yet.
You haven't backed them into. Yeah, they haven't been backed to the. Well, that's the other weird thing too. It's like I don't know how long, how many weeks has it been going on for? Two, maybe
I think it's
one and a
like
half.
16 days or something like that.
Yeah. Uh, and I think I said this last week. It's like, oh my gosh, Russia's being extremely defeated, and then it's just like Russia has conquered another city. What is it?
It's
He
we
was
talked about this last time. It's everything and it's nothing at the same time.
Russia completely underestimated them, and they're failing. Also, breaking news: they've taken another city.
Yeah, it's the fog of
Can't have
war,
it both
bro.
ways.
Fog of war. One thing I
They're
do know, though.
losing, and also they're winning.
One thing I do know, Adam, it's that the big problem with all this stuff, it's men. Men. They're always the ones that are warmongering and causing all these conflicts.
I hope I know where this is going, Zach.
Just as Meta COO Sheryl Sandberg says, no two countries run by women would ever go to war. Says
Who?
Meta COO Sheryl Sandberg.
COO?
COO, the chief operating.
Another made-up corporate position.
She's in the C-suite at Meta, Adam. Meta, the company that's allowing calls to violence against Russians.
Ethnic Russians.
They're allowing calls of violence against an ethnic group on their website now. They made a special announcement to say that it was permitted, almost as if they were advocating for people to do this. But no, Adam, no. No two countries run by women would ever go to war. They would only call for the ethnic cleansing of Russians. Hey, look, what's this? Unrelated, maybe. There are new studies out that showed how often European rulers went to war between 1480 and 1930. This will definitely show that it was definitely the male rulers, and when women were in charge, like Queen Elizabeth or Isabella of Spain, that they were not going to war. Let's see what it says. Over 193 reigns, they found that states ruled by queens were 24% 24% more likely to wage war than those ruled by kings.
Yeah. Catherine the Great. Queen Victoria.
Love war. I'm gonna call it's an inferiority complex. They gotta show, that they can hang with the boys.
They're obviously overcompensating for something.
Yeah, they're overcompensating because they only got a uterus, son. They can only bring life into the world. Whoa. So I just thought that was interesting.
You thought something.
Well, I mean, I don't know. The society and culture that we live in is becoming more and more female dominated, and it doesn't seem to be less and less calls to solve conflicts by peaceful means. It's like it's like the Democrats in a nutshell. Whenever they get into office, they're always like harping on all these Republicans. Ooh, George W. Bush doing war and whatever. But as soon as there's a conflict, they're the first ones to let the cruise missiles fly off into Kosovo.
Drone strike a aid worker and his family of children.
American citizens in Yemen. Whatever. People forget it was under Obama that the war in Afghanistan was escalated. The surge. There was like over 100,000 troops poured into there to try to
Libya, complete destabilization of Libya, including I would want to say resurgence, but it didn't exist beforehand, of the slave market.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's,
Gaddafi was an awful ruler. He ruled with an iron fist, including those of suppressing the slave markets, slavers,
slavers. Yes.
slavers.
So I don't know. I think that ladies are actually very warlike because they they would send the men of their societies to go fight and die to kill their enemies. That's exactly what women would do, right? Imagine it
Yeah, go kill that
in the
spider.
primitive times.
Oh,
You're
I
in
thought you meant.
you're in your grass hut village or whatever, and the neighboring tribe they're gonna come over there and they're gonna steal your chickens. What are you gonna do about them trying to steal our chickens, man? Oh, honey, it's fine. Maybe they're just hungry. Those are our chickens. You need to get out there and do something about it. Oh, we've got plenty of chickens. We can share chickens with them, dear. We don't need to fight. Oh, that's just what you think, because you're weak. Oh.
Oh, that's sad. I just went with the.
I talked to all the girls, and we're going on a little bit of a strike until you kill every single one of those chicken thieves. Every time. Every time. I'm gonna run out of whiskey here.
Zach, you're just a typical man.
Typical man. Oh. But Adam, it's cool. I don't know if you know this, but the Pope prayed for peace in Ukraine. And as we all know,
He did a while ago, I think. Unless he did it again. He probably prays every day.
I'm sure he does. I can't look sideways without seeing somebody giving a prayer up for peace in Ukraine or whatever. But back in the day, he talked to God and he said, God, peace in Ukraine. And in this commemoration of this peace, they released 2 white doves. Doves of peace into the sky. Doves that were almost immediately murdered by a crow and a seagull. When the Pope prayed for peace in Ukraine in 2014 and released 2 doves, they were immediately attacked and killed by a seagull and a crow. Do not ignore such symbolism. The signs are there. It's prophetic. Providence was telling us that you may want peace, but my will be done. And I don't know. I think that you can even draw some very interesting symbolic conclusions by the fact that those doves were torn apart by 2 different birds. And then we can start speculating about what each bird represented. Which one do you think was NATO in Europe?
That's probably the seagull.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's white, and so then it's got like the, sort of appearance of, but it's dirty and evil, and everybody hates them because they're like,
Always nagging at you.
Yeah. They're snatching your chips off your plate when you're.
Yeah, your French fries.
Yeah. And then you got crows, the blackbird.
Carrion eaters.
Oh, yes. Oh, they're such tricky beasts. They'll even ride an eagle. This was a compilation of pictures of crows pulling tails. But this one that you sent me, this crow is actually riding an eagle and steering it.
Yeah, I mean, he's ridiculous. And he goes to that the crows have special. They have special insight.
Yes, they are on par with humans as far as I'm concerned. The crows have their own culture and society. They live parallel to us, and we think we're so superior with all of our modern technology. They had jumbo jets. Look at this guy. Crows can fly, but they didn't want to. He wanted to ride that eagle. Maybe they was taking him to a conclave at a distant land. Because if you missed it, it was several weeks ago we talked about this, but in the before time, it was observed that crows would meet in council, confer.
The before time, that was like 1850 or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't that too long. That wasn't that long ago.
It was before this time. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
Anyway, there's something with crows. We don't know, Adam, the mysteries they abound. And crows are some of the most mysterious and interesting creatures. I have not yet implemented step 1 of my plan to befriend local crows, but I'll let you know how it goes. I'll keep everyone posted on how it progresses, but...
I like that one where the crow was pulled the wolf's tail, and the wolf was not having it.
It didn't do anything to him. He flew away.
Yeah, he flew away. He's psych.
Yeah, he's like, what you gonna do, son? You gonna pull my tail? Oh, it's not gonna load. My computer's too slow. There it is. Doop, doop, doop. He's like, because he's distracting the wolf away so that he can get some of that food. So he pulls his tail, gets chased a little bit, and then there's probably his other crow brethren come swooping in. Snatch, snatch, snatch. Genius creatures. I'm saying that as your president, I will form an alliance. I will reach out to the crows. We will have peace and mutual beneficial agreement between our peoples, so that we can learn all of their secrets and all of their ways. And that's when we strike. They thought they were clever. Human beings have driven more than one species to extinction, crows. Nix. Can't be having anybody competing with us. Top of the food chain! How far? How far? How far?
You didn't get out today, did you?
No, I actually went to work, unlike somebody I know.
Hey, I went to work too.
Nope. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All you did was sit around all day.
All you did was sit around all day.
No, I did work. You just sat around all day.
I did too by sitting around all day.
No. Just reading the chat for a minute. Oh, that's an interesting anecdote. Balls, said the queen. If I had two, I would be king. Talking about them testes. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, no.
Oh. But Adam, here it is. The stunning and brave people that are willing to stand up for their rights to say gay. could just listen to that on loop all day. Gay,
Fine.
gay, 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 gay. It's so gay. It's so gay, bro.
Wait, you can't say that. Or wait, you can.
You're supposed to say gay. That's
You're
what it
supposed
says.
to now.
Yeah, Florida State Democrats, they say, we've got one thing to say to our GOP colleagues. Gay!
Dumb. I don't know. I don't know. That's so dumb.
Adam, it's
They-
important to fight oppression, wherever it is.
There's no way that that's what the law said. I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at the bill. I haven't looked at the law. There's no way it says, like, you can't say a word.
Yeah, that's what these guys are saying, and they're like state politicians representing.
Yeah, so they're liars. I don't know what to say. Except I'm gay.
Yeah, say gay, bro. Say it. Don't be afraid. It's an act of rebellion. It shows solidarity against a law
it's just-
that probably doesn't say that you can't say it, but we're saying that that's what it says in order to foment outrage and opposition to it and its underlying policies.
Isn't it about, like, teachers not being able to talk about sex to kids?
I don't know where you would have got that from. The only thing I know is that
That's what it says. Isn't
the
it?
only thing I know is
Yes,
is that you can't say gay. That's what they say.
it is. Oh no, I think I'm right here. I haven't looked at it, but then when I saw it, I think that's what it is.
Oh. So in summary, the gist of it is that it creates a prohibition for kindergarten through third grade that as a part of the curriculum there cannot be instruction on sexual orientation, gender identity, and these sorts of things.
Sexual education too, right?
I don't know.
Sexual education too, right?
You can have some kinds of sex ed for kids that age. It's like, good touch, bad touch stuff. You get the the child molestation panda or whatever that comes in there. It's like, kids, don't let grown-ups touch your private areas. Whatever. Sex ed.
Panda?
It was, I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a South Park bit or whatever.
Oh, jeez.
But and teaching kids about like anatomy and proper names for things and this kind of stuff. I don't think that the Florida bill addresses that. I think it specifically talks about sexual orientation and gender identity stuff. But it might also, because I don't know, because I've seen memes like this. When you tell a liberal they can't teach sex to kindergartners, it's the clenched fist of Arthur. So I think this is where the split is, because the right then comes back and they say that actually the law is preventing leftists that have infiltrated the education system from grooming children to be victims of child molestation. And so then, so you have like, okay, so you have people that say, no, it's the don't say gay bill. And then they're like, actually, it's not. It doesn't say anything about not being able to say gay. It restricts curriculum and courses of instruction on these particular topics or whatever. And then they go further and they're like, and it prevents you from being able to groom and indoctrinate our children into your pedophilic cult. And then you have people that are on the left like, it doesn't have anything to do with the pedophilic cult and yada, yada, yada. And so then they go back the other way. And so it's like, the truth is out there, and you can probably read it in 5 minutes if you Google it.
Yeah, Google what the bill is. People, oh gosh.
But, Adam, as you know, the outrage machine cannot be silenced, and so it's always a battle to the death between black and white forces. Not racial black and white forces, mind you, but in opposition color. Let's call them red and blue to avoid any sort of unfortunate connotations.
Green team rules.
Green team! Except for... What's that guy's name? The Green Party
Tommy.
guy? Nader?
Tommy.
What was it?
The Green
Ralph
Power
Nader?
Ranger.
Ralph Nader? Except for that green guy. He's the
Ranger.
worst. Tommy? He doesn't have a mouth?
No,
How does he play a
It's a
flute?
trumpet sound. It's a trumpet sound as he plays his dagger like a flute.
He played his dagger like a flute with no mouth.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yes. Now I even remember. Oh, the Green Ranger. That was an epic story arc, though.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
But people are up in arms about this. And I think this has been going on for a while now. There's been a push from both sides to control what goes on in public schools. Because you're trying to get your message to the children so that when they grow up, they will be indoctrinated to support whatever position that you've taught them is the truth when they were young.
No. Only one side does indoctrinating. And that's the what side?
I
The bad
believe
side.
children should be indoctrinated.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're going to be indoctrinated. It's just like
They
who's gonna
need to be indoctrinated into good things that I think are good. That's why the rule shouldn't be that other people get to control how your kids are indoctrinated. You should get to decide that because you don't want me to decide that, right? Everybody listening is not like, Zach, he's a super stable guy. I want whatever he thinks to be really jackhammered into my child's brains. Because I think that it'd be fun to raise some militantly libertarian children, an entire generation that wants to burn the government to the ground. Every time a politician speaks, they just look side-eyed at the TV. I don't trust those guys. I mean, I don't either, kid. That's true.
There's like some...
So yeah, that's what I'd like to see. Nobody wants me to do that to their kids, and I don't want you coming to my child and trying to put your nonsense in their brain. Get the indoctrination out. But they can't. They can't let well enough alone, and they literally are fighting for the minds of your children. On all sides. Especially me. And the Tuttle twins. Have you heard of these?
The what?
I can't remember what group puts them out, but the Tuttle Twins is like a libertarian children's books.
Is it okay? Is it the National Libertarian Party?
I can't remember who does them.
Because if so, it's probably dumb.
Well, I don't know.
They drop the ball all the time, Zach.
But
You know
some people are
You know
actively calling for the
Admit it.
banning of public schools. In
Ooh.
response to someone tweeting, last night my 5th grader told us his vocabulary words for science class this week. Adolescence, consent, transgender, cisgender, non-binary. And Hans here's just like, ban public schools. It's time. It's time. Let's just ban it.
Yeah. Oh man, I think I saw that. My first reaction, my initial reaction was kind of like, "Oh yeah, that's a bunch of those are a bunch of leftist vocabulary." Whoa, wait, what's this consent thing? It's,
Listen here, 5th grader. Consent is when you agree to whatever I'm about to do to you. See, that's what they're talking about. There's something creepy about teaching kids about sex. If you go into that thread and you go down, it's all this stuff like, oh yeah, they caught my health teacher that taught the sex ed class with child porn all over his computer and stuff like this. And I'm just like, ugh. Chicken and the egg situation, though. I think that oftentimes predators are drawn to positions of authority over children and things.
yeah, absolutely.
But in response to Hans, also part of the Buffalo Gang, if you notice. If you send your child to Lutheran school, you expect that they emerge 12 years later thinking like a Lutheran. Likewise, Baptist school, Hebrew school, Methodist school, etc. How can we be surprised, Adam, when after 12 years of government school, they emerge perverts? We can't be surprised at all. Because once again, the QAnon conspiracy, the part that isn't true, isn't that there's a satanic ring of pedophiles that are, raping children. It's that there's somebody out there that's conspiring to get them.
Some pleasant news on a Friday night, Zach.
Yeah, I like to bring the good feelings to everybody. Ugh. But then Hans, in response to this further, he thought a second about it, and then he decided, I don't want public schools defunded. I want them raised.
That's like that. That's that meme. It's like I've taken your opinion under consideration. I've decided to become much worse.
Oh, I felt like that all week.
I bet you have.
So that's the war that's going on. But it's okay, Adam. The war has already actually been won, according to math. Everyone in America will be gay by 2047, at least if the current trends hold. A new Gallup poll found that the percentage of U.S. adults that identify as LGBTQ MAP has doubled over the past 10 years. The number now stands at 7.1% of the overall population, but there's more. More than that? Oh my gosh. At this rate, everyone's going to be gay, Adam. And why not? Because, as we covered already, we got to stand united and not be silenced and be willing to shout from the rooftops.
Zach, this is like the Forever War.
Yeah.
There is actually a war going on.
Oh, wait, someone's got some sad news for us. Wait, it's all gay? Always has been. It's already gay. Everything is gay already. The gays have won. The dominant culture is so pro-gay now that everything is gay. They lit up the White House in rainbow colors and whatever.
So many crosswalks in major cities that are painted rainbow
Yeah,
flag.
if you say that you don't like gays, then you're a hate crimer or whatever. You'll get canceled right off the face of the earth. I guess this mostly applies to like the United States, though. We're sort of in our siloed bubble. There are other places where the agenda hasn't penetrated into hegemonic prominence. Such as in the Eastern Orthodox Church in Russia.
Жили в сатанинской химере, друзья. Вы этого не слышали, не знали? Вы не заметили, как воздух очистился? Пугачева навсегда покинула Россию. Господи, как я этого ждал. Порнхаб закрыли для русских пользователей. Нас отлучили от благости западной цивилизации. Порнхаб закрыли. Иисусе, как нужно было молиться, чтобы его закрыли раньше. Нас не пустили.
How hard did we pray before for it to be closed?
Никогда на него. Чтобы я этих женщин с усами и мужиков с грудью не видел никогда даже во сне, даже случайно в рекламе. Их взяли и закрыли для нас. Вот он, хваленый, вонючий, проклятый.
So basically, this priest is going off on about how the sanctions are supposed to be bad, but actually they've cleaned the air. The air has been cleaner since it, and popular pornography sites have been banned, and these what he would consider parasitic celebrities have left the country. And he's like, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. But here in the Eastern Orthodox Church of Russia, we welcome all of these changes. But it's not going to matter, Adam. If you hadn't heard, the Sessho-seki, a famous rock in Nasu, Japan, that was said to have imprisoned the evil nine-tailed fox, Demoness, Tamamo no Me, was found broken in half. After nearly 1,000 years, the demon vixen is presumably once again on the loose. The stone, so evil aura emanating off of it that it was said to kill anyone who touched it. Broken in twain, set free, the nine-tailed fox demon is on the loose, portending the end of times.
Oh no. I did see a bunch of. No wonder I saw the Rita memes.
After 10,000 years, I'm free. Immediately, it's time to conquer Earth as incompetently as possible.
It's so. Oh, my favorite part is it's literally like they didn't come up with any crafty name about some space prison or whatever. It's like a space dumpster. She was imprisoned in a garbage can.
Yeah, it's just like it shows some I don't even know the story, man. But there's astronauts on the moon for some reason, and they're like, just push this thing open, and it's like, oh, read us out. No, I don't know. They never really explained.
Yeah, they're like, oh, hey, we're on the moon. It's great. And they're like, hey, what's that over there? Because it's all dubbed in English then, They're Japanese astronauts that speak English. And then they go over and they're like, oh, let's open this up.
That was great too, because they did have a thing. It was the space shuttle on a skateboard episode.
That wasn't the same one.
It had Japanese flags painted on the wings of the space
Going
shuttle.
through the streets of Sydney.
Yes.
No, that was one later. This one had the space shuttle. No, this one had the space shuttle parked on the moon, it's just landed, and it's just parked in the moon dust that incidentally looked like an Earth desert.
It's very similar to the Earth's desert. If you didn't know.
And I think they were imprisoned for an episode or two.
The astronauts?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Adam, it's fine though. We'll make it through. It's just the new currency is going to be food, ammo, alcohol, medical equipment, coffee, and cigarettes. I did my part to secure the future for my family, and I went out and I bought some extra whiskey and a few tins of coffee so that I'll be able to barter for bread or whatever. Maybe some potatoes when the hard times come in.
Oh.
But this was in response to the Canadians shutting down people's bank accounts if they donated to a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You sent $5 to this GoFundMe? All of your bank assets have been seized. What? Yes, this is freedom. Not your kind, our kind. We're free, you're not. That's what this means. Oof.
What's the penalty of what's the penalty of donating to a protest? Death. What's the penalty for murder? Death.
All right.
All right.
I think we've got a winner. Hey, Adam, it's times like these, though. It's times like these when I just like to look for a glimmer, ching, of optimism. And I like these feel-good memes. Hey, friend, listen. I know the world is scary right now, but it's gonna get way worse. Oh no, this meme took a turn. It was supposed to be wholesome and uplifting. Oh, Adam, it's gonna get much worse. Much worse very soon. But without further ado, it's time to get to our final segment of the show. You all know it and love it. It's our Ice Cold Fact of the Week, coming to you straight from Ice T's Twitter feed. Ice Cold Fact: if you loan money to a friend, expect to lose one of them. Ice Cold Fact. By the way, Adam, I didn't know, hard up for cash right now, but I needed to, get some money for reasons, and it's personal. I can't really tell you about it, but about $5,000. $5,000 will do.
Yeah. Have you tried Tinder?
I need to start running one of those Ukrainian Twitter or Tinder scams.
Oh, now it would be good to run a Ukrainian Tinder scam.
I don't think it would work as well now. With the bombs. But that's our show tonight, folks. Really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, smash like, subscribe, share it with all of your friends. You can follow us on social media. Our social media handles are on the screen. Adam, did you have anything you'd like to add here at the end of the show?
What's so funny?
You never add anything at the end of the show. I've been doing this for almost 2 years.
We usually cover it. During the show. Anything that I've got to add, I add it as it goes.
Yeah, you're supposed. This is like your time. You can give like a couple-minute monologue.
Oh, and I could have it we could have it on the screen where like a little block appears here, and it says like Adam's Corner or something.
Yeah, I could have a different background. It pops up. You're front and center. I'm not even on screen. It's just you.
I don't have anything else.
All right, folks, that's our show, and we will see you next time on Triggered. Good night.